Hello and welcome back to Doctor's Daily Advice, your trusted place for simple, science-based health tips that actually work. Let me ask you something. How many times a week do you reach for a soda, grab a quick pastry, or maybe order some fried food without even thinking twice? It feels normal, right? These foods are everywhere. They're cheap, tasty, and advertised as if they're harmless. But here's the truth that most people don't realize. Some of these everyday foods are slowly damaging your health in ways you cannot see immediately. As a doctor, I've seen the long-term effects of these foods on patients, from weight gain, fatigue, and skin problems to much more serious issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even early aging. That's why many doctors, including myself, make it a point to completely avoid certain foods. Not sometimes, not once in a while, but completely. Because we know how harmful they are to the human body. And that's exactly what today's video is about. I'm going to share with you the 5 foods doctors avoid at all costs, and why you should stop eating them immediately if you want to protect your health, look younger, and feel more energetic. Now, this isn't about perfection. Nobody's diet is perfect. And I don't expect you to suddenly change everything overnight. But knowledge is power. And once you understand what these foods are doing inside your body, I promise you'll think twice the next time you see them. And trust me, you'll want to stick with me until the very end. Because food number 4 is something almost everyone eats. And it's probably aging your body faster than you realize. So grab a notebook if you'd like. Hit that like button to support our channel, and let's dive straight into the first food doctors refuse to eat. Alright, let's start with one of the biggest offenders, sugary drinks and sodas. Now, when most people think about sugar, they imagine candy or desserts. But the truth is, liquid sugar in sodas and sweetened beverages is even more harmful than solid sugar. Why? Because when you drink sugar, it goes straight into your bloodstream very quickly. There's no fiber, no protein, nothing to slow it down. Your blood sugar spikes instantly, forcing your pancreas to release a surge of insulin. If this happens once in a while, your body can handle it. But when you drink sodas or sweetened juices regularly, this constant spike crash cycle leads to insulin resistance, the very foundation of type 2 diabetes. Over time, your cells stop responding to insulin properly, and that's when major health problems begin. And it's not just about diabetes. Sugary drinks are also directly linked to weight gain and belly fat. Why? Because liquid sugar doesn't make you feel full. You can drink 200 calories of soda and still be hungry afterward. That means you end up consuming extra calories without even realizing it. Studies show that people who drink sugary beverages daily are far more likely to gain weight than those who don't. But the damage doesn't stop there. Sugary drinks also increase your risk of fatty liver disease because the liver is overloaded trying to process all that fructose. Weaken your teeth by constantly bathing them in sugar and acid. Accelerate aging by increasing inflammation and damaging collagen in your skin. And don't be fooled by diet sodas either. Many of them are packed with artificial sweeteners, which can disrupt your gut bacteria and even increase cravings for more sugar later. So while they may be lower in calories, they're not a healthy solution. So what can you do instead? The best and simplest swap is water. If you want some flavor, add lemon, cucumber, or mint. Sparkling water is also a great option if you miss the fizzy feel of soda. Herbal teas, unsweetened iced tea, or even just water with a splash of fruit juice are much healthier alternatives. Bottom line, doctors avoid sugary drinks because they don't provide any nutrition, only empty calories and long-term damage. If you want better health, more energy, and slower aging, start by cutting out sodas and replacing them with clean, refreshing options. Your body will thank you. Next on the list is something you'll find in almost every kitchen: refined white bread and pastries. At first glance, bread looks harmless. It's soft, it's filling, and it's been part of diets for centuries. But not all bread is created equal. The problem with white bread is that it's made from refined flour. During processing, the bran and germ, the healthiest parts of the grain, are stripped away. What you're left with is basically pure starch, with almost no fiber, no vitamins, and no minerals. So what happens when you eat it? Your body quickly breaks down this starch into glucose, which sends your blood sugar soaring. Just like sugary drinks, refined bread causes a rapid spike followed by a crash. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Regularly eating refined bread and pastries also fuels inflammation in the body. Inflammation is one of the silent drivers behind chronic diseases, including heart disease, joint pain, and even premature aging of your skin. And let's talk about pastries. Cakes, cookies, croissants, donuts. Not only are they made from refined flour, but they're also loaded with added sugar and unhealthy fats. That's a triple hit: blood sugar spikes, bad cholesterol, and empty calories. that leave you hungrier than before. Here's something many people don't realize. Even so-called healthy-looking breads on store shelves can be misleading. Words like wheat bread or multigrain don't always mean whole grain. Many of them are still mostly refined flour with just a sprinkle of seeds on top. Always check the label. If the first ingredient is enriched flour, it's not truly healthy. So what are the better options? Whole grain bread, packed with fiber, vitamins and minerals that slow down digestion. Sourdough bread, easier to digest because of natural fermentation. Oats, quinoa, or brown rice. Excellent alternatives if you want to reduce bread altogether. The bottom line is this: doctors avoid refined bread and pastries because they give you quick energy but leave behind long-term damage, spiking your blood sugar, increasing cravings, and contributing to disease. Swap them out for fiber-rich whole grains, and you'll notice better digestion, steady energy, and even healthier-looking skin. Number 3 on our list is something many people absolutely love, but doctors know to avoid at all costs: processed meat. When I say processed meats, I'm talking about things like hot dogs, bacon, sausages, ham, salami, pepperoni, and even a lot of deli meats that people use for sandwiches. They may taste great and feel convenient, but behind the flavor lies a very dangerous truth. So why are processed meats so bad for your health? Let's break it down. First, they're usually packed with sodium. Too much salt in the diet raises blood pressure, puts stress on your arteries, and increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. And with processed meats, you're not just sprinkling a little salt on top, you're eating meat that's been literally soaked, cured, or smoked in salt solutions. Second, they often contain nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives that help keep the meat looking pink and tasting fresh. The problem: when these chemicals enter your body, they can form compounds called nitrosamines, which are strongly linked to certain types of cancer, especially colon cancer. The World Health Organization has even classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means there's strong evidence they can cause cancer in humans. That puts them in the same risk category as smoking and asbestos. Third, let's not forget the unhealthy fats in many of these meats. Bacon, sausages, and salami are often loaded with saturated fat. When eaten regularly, this raises bad cholesterol, LDL, clogs arteries, and raises the risk of heart disease. Combine that with the sodium and preservatives, and you have a recipe for disaster inside your body. And then there's the cooking method. Processed meats are often fried, grilled, or smoked at high temperatures. This creates harmful compounds called HCAs and PAs, which further increase cancer risk. So not only are these meats dangerous before cooking, but they become even more toxic once they hit the pan or grill. Now let's be realistic. Many people enjoy the taste of bacon or the convenience of a hot dog. But here's what doctors do. We look for safer, healthier protein sources that give us the nutrition we need without the risks. Better alternatives include fresh, unprocessed chicken or turkey breast, fish, especially salmon or sardines, which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. Even eggs, when eaten in moderation, are a much safer protein choice than processed. The bottom line: doctors avoid processed meats because they are one of the strongest dietary links to cancer, heart disease, and premature death. If you're eating these every day, in sandwiches, breakfasts, or snacks, it's time to rethink your choice. Even cutting back significantly can reduce your long-term risk and give your body a much better chance at staying healthy and strong. Number 4 on the list: deep-fried fast foods. And yes, I'm talking about French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, donuts, samosas, pakoras, and all those crispy snacks that are hard to resist. Let's be honest, fried foods taste amazing. They're crunchy, salty, and comforting. But here's the reality: doctors avoid them because the health risks far outweigh the temporary pleasure. The first big problem is the oil. Most fast food chains and restaurants use cheap, highly refined oils like soybean or corn oil. These oils are heated to very high temperatures, sometimes reused multiple times, which creates harmful compounds called trans fats. Trans fats are one of the worst things you can put in your body. They raise your bad cholesterol, LDL, lower your good cholesterol, HDL, and directly increase your risk of clogged arteries and heart disease. Second, fried foods are loaded with advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds are formed when foods are cooked at very high heat. AGEs accelerate inflammation and contribute to faster aging of your skin, joints, and blood vessels. In other words, eating too many fried foods can literally make you age faster, inside and out. Third, fried foods are very calorie dense. A small portion of fries or fried chicken can pack in hundreds of calories, yet they don't keep you full for long. This often leads to overeating and over time, weight gain and obesity, two major risk factors for diabetes and heart problems. And let's not forget about acrylamide, a chemical formed when starchy foods like potatoes are fried at high heat. Acrylamide is linked to higher cancer risk. It's another invisible danger hidden in that golden crispy coating. So what can you do instead? The good news is, you don't have to give up crunch forever. Doctors recommend using an air fryer or oven baking your favorite foods. These methods cut down on oil and harmful compounds while still giving you that crispy satisfaction. You can also switch to healthier oils like extra virgin olive oil for light cooking. Bottom line, doctors avoid deep-fried fast foods because they damage your heart, your skin, your waistline, and your long-term health. Enjoying them occasionally is okay, but making them a daily habit is like slowly poisoning your body. Choose healthier cooking methods, and your future self will thank you. Finally, number 5 may surprise you the most, because it often hides behind a healthy label. I'm talking about packaged low-fat foods and artificial snacks. Walk into any supermarket and you'll see shelves full of products marketed as low-fat, diet, or light. At first glance, they look like the perfect choice for someone trying to eat healthy. But here's the catch. When food companies remove fat from a product, they usually replace it with sugar, artificial sweeteners, and additives to make it taste good. And that combination is far worse for your body than a little bit of natural fat. Low-fat cookies, diet yogurts, flavored granola bars, packaged smoothies, many of these are loaded with added sugar and chemicals. They spike your blood sugar, increase cravings, and leave you hungrier, which means you often end up eating more than you would have with the full-fat version. Another problem is artificial ingredients. Many low-fat or sugar-free snacks contain chemical sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose. While these may reduce calories, studies suggest they can disrupt gut bacteria, increase sugar cravings, and may even affect your metabolism in the long run. That's why doctors prefer to avoid them. Let's not forget preservatives and flavor enhancers. Packaged diet snacks are often highly processed, stripped of natural nutrients, and full of artificial flavors, colors, and shelf life extenders. They may look harmless, but your body doesn't recognize these chemicals as food. It sees them as toxins. So what should you eat instead? Stick to whole, minimally processed foods. If you like yogurt, go for plain Greek yogurt and add fresh fruit or a drizzle of honey in. Instead of low-fat crackers or chips, snack on nuts, seeds, or air-popped popcorn. And remember, healthy fats like those found in avocados, olive oil, and nuts are actually good for your heart and skin when eaten in moderation. The bottom line, doctors avoid packaged low-fat snacks because they're often nothing more than a marketing trick, packed with sugar and chemicals that harm your health. Always choose real, whole foods over processed diet versions. Trust me, your body will notice the difference. And there you have it, the 5 foods doctors avoid at all costs. Let's quickly recap. 1. Sugary drinks and sodas. Liquid sugar that damages your liver, spikes blood sugar, and accelerates aging. 2. Refined white bread and pastries, stripped of nutrients, loaded with starch and sugar, fueling weight gain and inflammation. 3. Processed meats, packed with salt, nitrates, and unhealthy fats, strongly linked to cancer and heart disease. 4. Deep-fried fast foods, full of trans fats, chemicals, and extra calories that harm your heart and skin. 5. Packaged low-fat snacks, marketed as healthy but actually filled with sugar, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. Now I want you to notice something. None of these foods are rare or exotic. They're everyday items, things you see at supermarkets, parties, restaurants, and maybe even in your own kitchen right now. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous, because we eat them without even realizing how harmful they are over time. But here's the good news. Knowledge is power. Once you know the risks, you can make smarter choices. You don't have to give up all your favorite foods overnight. Even small changes like replacing soda with water, switching to whole grain bread, choosing fresh chicken instead of bacon, baking instead of frying, or picking whole foods instead of diet snacks can add up to huge improvements in your health. I always tell my patients this: progress is more important than perfection. If you can reduce these harmful foods by even 50%, your body will thank you with better energy, clearer skin, stronger immunity, and a lower risk of serious diseases. So my advice is simple. Start small, stay consistent, and don't fall for marketing tricks. Listen to your body, fuel it with real, nourishing foods, and you'll notice the difference faster than you think. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me which of these 5 foods do you eat the most often? And which one are you going to cut back on starting today? Your answer might inspire someone else who's watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps support the channel and allows us to keep bringing you doctor-approved health tips every single day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on my latest advice, natural remedies, and anti-aging secrets. Remember, your health is your wealth. The small choices you make daily are shaping your future. So start today, take control, and give your body the care it deserves. This is Doctor's Daily Advice. Signing off, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video.